It doesn't make all the difference, but... All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to St. Peter's on this rather balmy Saturday morning. This morning, we're delighted to have Ivan Linford, who's kindly offered to come and play a programme for us. Hopefully, you've seen the programme as it's been handed round, but Ivan is going to introduce the pieces as he goes along, so that it's not a memory test to see if you can remember what he was planning to do. So I'll invite Ivan to come forward and take the stage.
It's a bit low. Not very au fait with microphones. Can you hear me? You can. Good morning, everybody. Lovely to see you all. Thank you so much for coming. It's a little bit cooler today. There's a bit of a breeze, so hopefully we're on the downward descent now of temperature. It's really lovely to be here. I know one or two of you from coming here to play for Sunday services, so it's lovely to see you, and others, of course. So thank you for coming. Before I start, I must just make one apology. At the end of the recital, I've got to make a very quick getaway because I've got a wedding at 1 o'clock at a village back home near Oakham. So I'm going to have to get my skates on, sort of thing, although they can't start without me, let's face it. And the bride will probably be half an hour late, but so apologies if I'm sort of in a, champing at the bit to get away. I don't usually sort of shoehorn too many things in one day. Anyway, lovely organ here at St. Peter's. It's so good that it gets used and you look after it and you pay to get it tuned and maintained. It's very, very good, and I enjoy coming to play. So I've devised a little programme for you with 1 or 2 serious pieces of organ music, 1 or 2 jolly pieces of organ music, 1 or 2 pieces of music that aren't organ music at all, but work well on the organ. So I'll introduce my first 2 pieces. The first is called Lo Ballo dell'Antorcha, and this is a Renaissance dance by a Neapolitan composer, Antonio Valente. And he was around at a time when Naples was a very flourishing place. And this dance piece, it's quite a short piece, is very typical of the music of the time. I'm going to play it on the trumpet stop, so it's got quite a rasping energy to it. So I hope you'll enjoy that. It opens as a sort of a curtain raiser to the recital. Then I'm going to play some serious music. I'm going to play a piece of Bach, a prelude and fugue in C. This is one of the shorter preludes and fugues, and I really enjoy playing this. I learnt this many years ago when I was still very much a student organist, and it's one of those pieces I like going back to because you can just open the copy and play it, really. But it's a really nice prelude and fugue of Bach. It starts with a pedal solo very briefly before the hands come in. So the first two pieces, Lo Ballo dell'Antorcha by Valente, followed by the Prelude and Fugue in C by Bach. Thank you. Thank you very much. So the next two pieces are orchestral pieces, but they've been transcribed for the organ. They work very well on the organ. The first one of these is the air from the Suite Number 3 in D by J.S. Bach, often known as Air on the G string. You've probably heard this on Classic FM, Radio 3 or whatever. Very, very famous piece of music. And it has this sort of pizzicato bass part, which is played by the feet on the pedals, and that goes all the way through, sort of just lilting away. Works very nicely on the organ. And then I thought I'd play another transcription, the Andante from Haydn's Trumpet Concerto. Again, a very well-known piece of music. And again, this works really, really well as an organ solo. So I hope you'll enjoy these two transcriptions, Air from the Suite Number 3 in D and the Andante from the Trumpet Concerto. Thank you. played up and did something it wasn't meant to do. This should be better. Thank you. So on to the last two pieces now. The next piece is the Andante and Variations, or Dante with Variations, by Mendelssohn. Now Mendelssohn, I think, was a really important composer because after the death of J.S. Bach, Bach's music sort of went into decline and people weren't playing it much. But Mendelssohn was very much key in bringing Bach's music back to the fore, and he performed a lot of his music. He famously played at St Paul's Cathedral in London, and I think Mendelssohn is actually a very important composer in his own right. For organ, he wrote 6 sonatas, and there's a group of 3 preludes and fugues, and there's a number of smaller pieces as well, and this Andante with Variations, which I think is particularly charming, very well written, very well crafted. It works very well on any sort of instrument, actually. So I hope you'll enjoy that. And then to end with, just a little bit of fun, in case everything's been a bit too serious for you, I'm going to play Penguin's Playtime by Nigel Ogden. Now, Nigel Ogden died only earlier this year, and he was an organist who very much centred around the theatre organ. And he played many theatre organs, and he was the presenter of the Organist Entertains, a long-running show on Radio 2, I think it was, for many years. And he's written a few pieces of organ music which are very much influenced by the theatre organ. So I've tried to coax a few sounds out of the Oadby organ this morning, which are sort of looking towards the theatre organ, if you like, although this isn't a theatre organ. But again, it's the sort of piece you can make work on any instrument, really. It's really fun. I hope the idea of penguins helps to cool you down a bit. But I hope you'll enjoy it, just as sort of a light piece to end the morning. So the Andante with Variations by Mendelssohn, followed by Penguin's Playtime by Nigel Ogden. Thank you.
got excited for a moment there. Well, thank you, Ivan. That was a really nice programme of music, taking us on a journey from the 16th through to the 20th century, and it's interesting to see how the music style has developed, but how the organ can react to all those different styles. So it's very much appreciated. Thank you. Also, I'd like to thank Bobby, who's been looking after the technology today, and the team who've been busy serving the teas and coffees before the concert. Oh, and the cakes, yes. Yeah. I've been asked to remind you of forthcoming events. On Saturday, the 11th of July, we have Angela's Open Garden at 13 Whitegate Gates Field in Wigston. Admission to her garden is £5, which includes tea and more cake. So please do support that if you can, in aid of Alzheimer's Society. And at St Peter's, we have a strawberry tea on Saturday, the 25th of July, from 2 to 4:30 in the church here. Just a reminder, if you wish to come, you need to book your ticket in advance. So speak to Angela, or you can go online, I believe, and book. Yes, I'm getting a positive nod from the back. So you can book your tickets online as well if you so wish. So that should be a very nice afternoon. So scone, jam, cream, drinks, and a bowl of strawberries. The coffee concerts are now taking a break over the summer, and we return in September. Due to the fact that there is a wedding in here on the date that we thought the concert would be, we need to reschedule, and that will be published on the notice sheets and the website as soon as we've sorted out what date we can do. And then we have a programme of concerts in October, November, and then in December the Bell Plates will be back to entertain us with some Christmas music. So lots to look forward to in the autumn. I hope to see you all again then. Thank you for coming.